What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today is Wednesday, which of course means it's time for another Western New York Wednesday here on the channel. And the beer I'm reviewing today once again comes from the Big Ditch Brewing Company, and they are out of Buffalo, New York, and this is their Mudlarked, the Marshmallow variant, and this is the 2020 release. So they're calling this one an Imperial Stout that is brewed with 9 different malts, lactose, cocoa nibs, and marshmallow. It comes in at 10% alcohol by volume, 20 IBUs at the time of review. This can is approximately 13 and a half months old. So a couple weeks ago, I reviewed the peanut butter variant of this, also the 2020 release, and it was delicious. Tasted like Reese's Puff cereal, but in Imperial Stout form. So I had a can of this still in the fridge, and I was like, that beer was so delicious. Let's see how this one held up, if it did. So the difference between this and the peanut butter variant is they just switched the peanut butter with marshmallow. So I will say, when it comes to marshmallow, more often than not, marshmallow beers, I usually get vanilla. And if I get a marshmallow character in a beer, it's usually because of the lactose or vanilla in a beer. Very rarely do I drink a beer with marshmallow and be like, that's totally marshmallow. Usually it's vanilla. So I'm hoping that I can taste marshmallow in here, but even if it comes off as like a vanilla Imperial Stout, I think I'll be happy. Anyway, let's crack this one open and get it into the glass and see what we got going on. So that peanut butter variant was so delicious. So I'm hoping the same thing for here. Oh, it's a little bit, coming out a little bit out of the can here. So we'll pour it. But yeah. Now, the peanut butter variant did not do this. So who knows? We've got a little bit of an infection here. Yeah, we might. Not sure. We'll see. Hopefully it held up, but the peanut butter one 100% did not do what this one just did. So it's fine. A little bit of carbonation. Maybe it started re-fermenting. Here's the crazy thing. This beer and the peanut butter one have been in the fridge for the last like 13 months or so. Like when I bought these, I think I placed the order right before Thanksgiving of 2020, and I got them like maybe less than a week later. So they went right in the fridge. Did not have that issue with the peanut butter one, but whatever. So that pours out pitch black. Gonna look pitch black on camera. Pitch black in person. Has about a 3-finger of this really nice brown frothy head. Looks creamy, but it also, some bigger bubbles mixing with some smaller bubbles, but it looks fine. It just, burst out of the can a little bit and a little bit of a high carbonation. So hopefully it's all right. Let's get a nose. Okay. So this one to me is a really chocolate forward. Like there's a lot of chocolate in this one. Not really getting the marshmallow per se. This is more of like sweeter dark chocolate, sweeter milk chocolate, a little bit of baker's chocolate. Okay, now I say that. I go back, there's a ton of vanilla. What the? I love how like I start talking about aroma, like, oh, there's no marshmallow, and then I go back and no, ton of vanilla. Ton of vanilla. Yeah, so now I'm getting big vanilla, like a mix of like vanilla and chocolate ice cream. It's like you took Neapolitan ice cream, but just got rid of the strawberry. It smells, now, so this in comparison to the peanut butter variant, this smells really sweet and cloying on the nose. Like it smells really sweet and cloying. Slight roasted malt from the base Imperial Stout. Maybe a little bit of molasses, but this has a lot of like confectionery plus like robust, rich flavors to it. Touch of like a caramel, like a chocolate covered espresso bean, but if you, maybe not chocolate covered, more like a caramel coated espresso bean. Yeah, the caramel is really big now too. What the fuck? This nose is all over the place. Yeah, there's sweet and dark chocolate. There's sweet milk and dark. There's caramel. There's a little bit of coffee. There's roasted malt. There's vanilla. It smells really good. It smells good, but it's disjointed. Every time I go back, there's something different. And I don't think everything's blending together as well in the nose as the peanut butter one did. But it doesn't smell bad in the least. It actually smells really good. Just a big boozy, like I'm starting to get a little bit of the alcohol vapors. But a big, like boozy, chocolatey vanilla type of nose. Smells really good, but again, a slightly disjointed compared to the peanut butter one. But I want to get into it, so cheers, everyone. That's really nice. It's actually really nice. I don't think this has went astray. Definitely gushed out a little bit. Carbonation's a bit higher, but the taste profile, again, I can't compare this to fresh, but I will say drinking this right now, there's no off flavors on my palate. Nothing that would indicate this is, started to turn or infected or anything. Body in this one, not as big and thick and syrupy as that peanut butter one. If you haven't watched that review, if you care to go back and look at what I said about the body and mouthfeel, that was one of the most thick, syrupy, almost chewing on the body of a beer that I've ever had. And it was crazy because it's 10%. It wasn't like 14 or 15% crazy Imperial Stout. The body and mouthfeel on that beer are fucking ridiculous. This, it's nice for 10%, but it's not that beer. Body on this one's like higher side of medium, lower side of full. It has some heft behind it, but I expect that from a 10% beer, so I think it's appropriate. The mouthfeel, there's more carbonation. Again, you saw it gush out the head and whatnot, and I can generate a head, and there's definitely carbonation left. So it's spritzy on the palate, but it's like mild to moderately carbonated. There's a nice, soft, smooth kind of feeling on the palate where it's not too carbonated at all. I think the body and mouthfeel are really nice, but after having the peanut butter version, I look back and I'm just like, that body and mouthfeel was spectacular. This is just nice. The taste though, we pour a little bit more in here and we'll start dissecting the taste. This to me, so right now, if I was doing this beer blind, and that's how sticky my fingers are. Now, I have a tendency to throw shit around because I don't know what I'm doing. I've reviewed over 1,000 beers on my channel, been a beer tuber for almost 4 years. I have no clue what I'm doing, all right? But I don't have any paper towels or anything because clearly I don't know what I'm doing. Can't wash off my hands, so my hands are sticky from, the sides of the can and everything. It was stuck to the glass. I almost just threw this and spilled it everywhere because, I don't know what I'm doing. But if I was doing this blind, to go back to what I was saying, if I was doing this blind, to me, right off the rip, I'd say without question, this is a vanilla Imperial Stout or Imperial Stout with vanilla. Vanilla would be the first character I would tell you about this taste-wise. But let's try to dissect it and get a little bit deeper with these tasting notes. Right at the forefront, roasted malt. It's the first thing that hits me. 9 different malts, yes. Very complex malt profile. But it's deep, richly roasted, almost cherry type of malt notes. A little bit of coffee after that. And then the complexity of the chocolate hits, and it's sweet milk chocolate mixed with dark, sweet, like Hershey's chocolate, but then I'm getting like a baker's chocolate. It's running the gamut of all the chocolate notes you ever wanted. Right after that, big blast of vanilla. And I would say vanilla. There's no way drinking this right now that I would tell you there's marshmallow in here. I would say vanilla or lactose or combination of both because there's a huge vanilla presence on the taste. So that's all at the forefront. There's a little underlying caramel, not as big as the nose, so let me take back that caramel drizzled or caramel coated espresso bean. Definitely not in the taste. In the nose, sure, but not in the taste. So that all hits at the front of the palate. As it passes through and hits about 2/3 of the way, maybe 3/4 of the way through, I'm hit with this nice bittering, almost earthy kind of sensation. But it's not real big. It's not stopping the sweetness to the degree that I would like to. A lot of times I'll be like, oh, this is balanced. This leans sweeter. Is it cloying? Maybe if I drink that entire can, the last 4 to 6 ounces, I'd be like, this is cloying, too much, too sweet. But I think right now I'm enjoying it. It finishes with a mild bitterness, a mild dryness, and I think that's what's stopping it from balancing it out. I think if you had some kind of like earthy kind of bitterness that was moderate, I think it would stop the sweetness, or maybe a semi-dry to full-on dry finish. I think the peanut butter one, while sweet, did not get to the point where I was like, oh man, I want like half of that can and I'm good. I drank the rest of that peanut butter one and it was delicious to the end. This, I want like 8 ounces of. And I've said this before in so many other reviews. I'd love to see beers like this in 8 ounces or 12-ounce cans at the most. 16 ounces for something like this. To me, this is a sharing beer, 100%. You bust this out with 1 or 2 friends. All of you have 5 1/3 ounces to 8 ounces, depending on how many friends you're sharing with. And that's it. It's a sharing beer. And that's where this one kind of lands for me because of the sweetness. But here's the crazy thing. I think the alcohol is hidden well in this one, more so than the peanut butter one. I think the peanut butter one, I got a little bit more of like the chest warming into the stomach. Not astringent on the palate all that much, but I could tell that was a bigger beer. Here, no, the body being a little bit lighter and the mouthfeel not as crazy as the peanut butter one, I think it's doing a better job hiding the alcohol, which is just insane to me. I'm going to pour the rest in here, or attempt to, and then I'm going to try to formulate a rating in my dome piece. Ooh, is it going to go over? I might have to drink the rest of that. Am I going to have to do that? Am I going to? I should have done that, but whatever. I already fucked it up once. Rating. I think I'm ready to rate this. So Mudlarked, the marshmallow variant from Big Ditch, the 2020 release. If you have cans of this in your fridge or in your cellar, crack it open now. I'm kind of worried about the carbonation. I don't know if it's going to start re-fermenting. I don't know what's going on. But I think it's drinking quite well for what it is. But I think another year or two, and this will not be all that great. But again, beer like this, probably not a lot of people are aging just because of the adjuncts with cocoa nibs and this and lactose. Anyway, I'm going to give this a very solid high 4 out of 5. I'm going to go 4.1 out of 5. I think that's a fair score for what I'm drinking. This, kind of like I thought, is drinking very akin to a Imperial Stout with vanilla, or a vanilla Imperial Stout, or something of that nature. This one doesn't have as many of like a comparison to like a confectionery kind of pastry stout. This is sweet, but I wouldn't necessarily say be like, oh, that tastes like a cake, or that tastes like this, or tastes like that. It's a very sweet Imperial chocolate vanilla stout. Like, that's what it is. But yeah, I can't say marshmallow. Without question, I cannot say marshmallow. It's good though. It's just a little bit too sweet for me. I think some people out there who don't like sweet beers, you probably drink like 4 ounces and just be like, I'm done. I'm finished. I can't. And I get that. So price point availability. This, along with the peanut butter one, was $23 4-pack. I get it. That's expensive. But I've said it in the peanut butter review, and I also did it recently on their Galaxy Red. Big Dish has one of the best values in craft beer here in the Buffalo, New York area for a local brewery. So if they're charging $23 a 4-pack, then you damn well know that they had to charge $23 a 4-pack to make some kind of profit on it, because they have the best bang for buck when it comes to beers here in the West New York area locally. So $23 a 4-pack, I wouldn't pay that again for this beer specifically. I would totally do it again for the peanut butter beer. This one I would probably pay maybe like $4 a can or something. But it's a bit too sweet and too rich and just too much sweetness in general for me to say $23 4-pack is a good value. And availability, I doubt you see any of this on the shelves locally here in the West New York area. The variant that they brewed in 2021, outside of the peanut butter one they brought back, they did a banana coconut, and I didn't pick that up. Saw mixed reviews and whatnot, and I was just like, even though I love coconut, and I think it'd be a fun beer to try, not really looking to grab one. But maybe if I see a straggler, I'll pick it up and review it in the next couple months. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, if you've had this one before, let me know what you think about it. I think the pros to this one are you definitely get, they say marshmallow, but I get a big vanilla tinge here. And it hides the alcohol extremely well. The cons to this one, it's a bit too sweet for me. And I don't think this is as complex or as delicious as the peanut butter one. And there's a reason they brought back the peanut butter one, and they did it in 2020 and they did it in 2021. Why? That's a superior beer. And I will stand by this. I think that is one of the best beers I had from Big Ditch. And I think you'll see that again in 2022. And I think they'll have a new variant for 2022. I don't think they'll bring back the marshmallow, and I don't think they'll bring back the banana coconut. Hopefully, you know what I would like to see, and they're never probably going to watch us, but if you guys ever see, I would love to see like a cherry cordial version or something like that, where it's brewed with like cherries or like dark cherries, something like that, because you already have the cocoa nibs. Throw cherry in the mix. If you give me a liquefied 10% cherry cordial Imperial Stout with a body that's akin to the peanut butter variant, sign me up all day, every day. So not much more to say. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another West New York Wednesday here on the Beer Patrol. Check back next Wednesday for another offering. And like I said, if you've had this one before or any of the Mudlarked beers, let me know what you think about it. And not much more to say. So appreciate everybody stopping by. Until the next one. Cheers.